Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, channel audience, welcome to an episode of Tatami Talk. My name is Juan. This is Anthony. This is a judo podcast for judo players by two judo players. So, Anthony, thank you for finally putting up the review of the gi. All right.
Oh yeah.
Thank you. I greatly appreciate it, and a lot of our fans actually greatly appreciate it too because they thought it was a very fun video.
I was surprised how much. I didn't think it was that interesting, but
people liked it apparently.
Maybe because I was like kind of like about the gi. So
you weren't like, oh my god, it's so amazing. I love this gi.
Because at the end I was just like, okay, it is really ridiculously soft. Spoiler alert, it's really ridiculously soft, but
it's snuggle soft. All right,
I wouldn't buy it soft. I wouldn't buy it again. Basically, it was.
Why not?
It's way too much for what it is. It's just not. I can't appreciate it in that context because I'm like, this is such a waste for training. And then when you
that's what remember, it's supposed to be a sensei gi. You're supposed to look around, look pretty in it gi.
Well, they have a sensei gi. I have a sensei gi,
but this is that was cheaper. Master's gi. This is the master's gi. Then okay, you want to call it?
I feel like if they're gonna make a sensei gi, they should make one with a shorter skirt for starters. But yeah, I don't know. I just didn't. I thought it was a little underwhelming.
No. Well, people like the review.
I'm not going to say underwhelming. It was. I set the bar too high. My expectations too high. It's just
okay.
That. Yeah.
All right. So other than that, Anthony, how you been, brother? How you doing?
Well, my wife was like, "You're still up at this time?" Like the last few days, it was like just nonstop editing for those videos. Which is why it came out. Funny enough, I didn't get to the blog post, the newsletter post. But I did a lot of cleaning up because I'm getting garage ready to get ADU built. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff I just was not able to do, and I realize now that I am not doing randori as much, I'm able to
move better.
Not just move better. I'm actually my shoulder was the issue in the last few weeks I've been dealing with, and it's better. Today is the first day that's actually better, so I'm gonna start again this week. But just skipping, because I used to show up on Thursdays and then stay for the whole time after the kids class, and Wednesdays. But the last week I just skipped those two, Wednesday and Thursday, after I taught, and man, I had so much time to get like the laundry done. I got my budgeting done. I didn't do that for years. Like I actually got budgeting done. I backed up all my photos. Like I automated all my photo backups. Like I did so much stuff. It was pretty crazy. But I also need to book my Japan tickets. So
again, God, you go like 3 times a year now. Shit.
Well, funny enough, I transferred my credit card points because I had to do all the point calculations. That took like three hours today. So I was like waiting for the points to transfer because there's a delay. And right as we started the podcast, like the points get transferred. So I'm like, I wonder if I can book the tickets while Juan is talking.
Give a soliloquy, Juan. All right, let me at this. All right, this is my favorite soliloquy.
No, but even though I feel like I'm missing out a bit on not doing as much randori, I did get a lot of stuff done, so it's productive. And I'm just looking forward to get the work in my house done because I'm going through some family stuff, and having that option of someone able to stay there will actually help out a lot. So
okay, all right. So that's how Anthony's doing. We're living our life, the best life that we can. So this episode's coming up pretty fast after our last episode, so there's not a whole lot to talk about.
Yeah, because one of our students that's leaving back to Japan is staying with me, so I'm like, we're not going to fit 2 episodes in that month if we don't do it now before he starts staying, because he's staying.
Tell him to go to a cafe real quick, like come back in 3 hours, all right?
Yeah, I can record him from my bed, but no, I want to get this episode out. Then he's going to stay. Then I have after he leaves, my wife's friend's going to come visit. So yeah, we're going to have to pump one out early, like today's the 2nd, so beginning of the month, and pump another one out at the end of the month,
right at the end of the month, baby,
or at the dojo.
If we do it at dojo, why not?
Yeah, we'll do it at the dojo. So
all right, so let's get into it already.
That's another reason I need. That's another reason I need that stuff built out, so I can actually have a real guest room that's not shared with the office. So.
All right, one more time now. All right.
Yeah.
So, some of you may not know. Here in LA, we had the Jiu-Jitsu World League. We had a couple of our students go there. We had a couple of friends of the channel, some friends of ours go and compete. I just want to tell everybody, good job, congratulations. I'm proud of all of you guys out there. Whether you got gold, silver, bronze, or just went out and tried, proud of all you guys that went out there and just did it. Okay, great job, all of you. Second question now. So you know Mikey Mismuchimi. I can't say kid's real name. Okay. So you know him. This is a little quick thing, okay?
I just know he's the UFC guy.
He's a UFC BJJ champion. He's the one that was in the one championship. Yeah. This is coming together with the BJJ thing, so I brought it up. Mm-hmm. So he's undefeated in his weight class. He's one championship grappling champion. He's been UFC BJJ champion now. He's apparently going to have his first MMA match. Mm-hmm. So how do you think of a guy that's been so pure BJJ? How do you think he's going to come to MMA?
Oh, he's actually doing MMA?
Yep, he said he's going to have an MMA fight. He's training for it right now. Probably under the UFC since he's under contract with them for the BJJ.
I have no idea.
You don't know? Is he one of those guys that does like barely any striking? Just has like pull guys in guard, bad double legs or something?
I don't watch BJJ competitions, so I've seen the name on Reddit. I don't know what he looks like. So I don't have any opinions.
You don't really? I'm surprised because you know these guys also. So
I don't know all these guys. The only one I know is
you talk to me about these guys all the time.
Not this Mikey guy.
Not this Mikey guy. All right. Well, it's going to be interesting to see this because this is a very pure BJJ fighter coming in MMA. I don't know how much striking he's working on, if he's working like jab, cross, get in or something, how he's working on kickboxing. So that's going to be interesting to see how he transfers from this type of grappling to MMA. You know,
the last pure BJJ guy I can think of is Ryan Hall.
Ryan Hall. Well, I was going to think of...
I'm talking about pure BJJ. I'm not talking about like some of the BJJ guys that you see like start striking and stuff. They actually do MMA basically.
Well, I was going to say Damian Maia because Damian Maia was like a pure BJJ guy.
I think Ryan Hall was after him.
Yeah. But I'm saying like maybe. Well, he was, yes. But I'm just... When I think of pure BJJ guys in MMA, I think of Damian Maia. That's what I think of.
But you said the last one, so I said Ryan Hall.
It still works out. It's all right. Okay. Second thing we want to talk about really quick was, so here in California, we have a team tournament. We used to have a NACA team tournament every year. Since the pandemic happened, the Nikkei Games, which is a really cool event here in Southern California, where you have karate, kendo, and judo all compete at the same time in a Royal Rumble atmosphere at the Pyramid. No, it's not Royal Rumble atmosphere. We all compete at one location, 3 tournaments of 3 style martial arts having the same time, celebrating Nikkei Games. The Nikkei Games since pandemic has changed into a team tournament. And it's been really cool because they have like women's team, men's team. They have lightweight, middleweight, and heavyweights now. Before, when I was younger, it was just lightweights and heavyweights. And heavyweights were true heavyweights. So if you're in a big dude and you got put in a heavyweight division, you would get screwed sometime. All right.
You know what's funny? The last surgery I had, the first time I was like coming back from PT where I felt good enough to compete was Nikkei Games for the team tournament. Yeah. Yeah. And then once I felt like better, they canceled every single team tournament after that. And then now I was like, oh, great. This is after my surgery. I want to sign up for it again. And then my knee had that locking last week. Yeah. So decided not to sign up for it. But it's like aligned with my surgery time frame.
It always aligns with your surgery.
Yeah. And watch them cancel it next year. So
yeah. And so people understand how these team tournaments work. The way ours happen here for Nikkei Games is you have a lightweight team, a middleweight team, and a heavyweight team. And the way they put people together, it's usually with an average weight of each other. So you can literally have like 2 little guys and 1 big dude as long as they weigh for the middleweight division or weigh for the lightweight division. Or 2 big dudes and 1 little dude in the heavyweight division. That little dude might get screwed over, but it is what it is. And it's not the way how it is in other tournaments where people always get this thing where they think that if they win, they continue on and have to fight the second guy and the third guy. So no. It's one match. The 2 lightest guys fight each other. The 2 middle guys fight each other, and the 2 heaviest guys fight each other. No one continues on, but it is best 2 out of 3, no matter what.
They kind of followed the Japanese high school system a little bit, and I wish they made this kind of like a dojo versus dojo thing, even though we don't have the numbers for it. But that would be fun if they actually had like, hey, you can sign up for like the open division where it's like this, and then we have like the main event, which is like dojo versus dojo brackets, right?
Well, it is dojo versus dojo, but it's not pure dojo versus dojo.
Last time, most of my fights were against our own dojo members.
Because that's how good we are, all right?
That's just how many adults we have. That's just how many adults we have. So that are actually competitive versus other dojos. They don't have that many adults. So
Well, we are an adult dojo, okay?
yeah.
We try to have kids, but it's going.
Yep.
All right, so that's coming up. It's really fun to watch, and it's just really cool to be there in the atmosphere. Like I said, you have karate on one side, kendo's usually in the middle of everything.
Kendo
and then-
guys smell. I have to say that every single time.
Will you leave them alone? All right.
You know how the Nikkei games, they're like the judo guys are right next to the kendo guys in the middle, and the kendo's right next to the karate.
Yeah.
Every year it's like that. I don't know why they don't shift it around. They always keep it like the same order. But I would get interested because I'm like, oh, kendo's so cool. Let me go. I walk over and then I'm like, oh god, now I forgot about the smell and I have to back up a little bit. But
And another thing about this tournament, I don't know how it always happens this way, no matter what. Maybe because we only have 2 mats, but we are always the last ones out. You know, karate is usually like first ones. They're like in and out. You know, by noon they're done, or by 1 o'clock they're out. Kendo, they'll be there kind of late with us, but they'll finish before us always. So that's what's happening with us right now. We're getting ready for that. We have I think we have like almost 6 teams going. I'll be coaching next week. Hopefully do well. Stay tuned to see how we do. All right. So today's main topic of the episode, this, like I said, this may not be a super long episode, people. I'm sorry for feeling being shortchanged. So there's an old saying, sharpen sharpens iron, or sharpen sharpens iron, steel sharpens steel, or iron sharpens iron. It's those 2 sayings.
I've never heard of steel sharpens steel. It's always iron sharpens iron.
I've heard both of them. And it's funny because I heard them in wrestling. I heard them all the time in middle school wrestling, high school wrestling, college. I heard it all the time in wrestling. Then I heard, again, Joe Rogan say it. Now that everybody starts saying it all the time. But so that's an old saying. And it's supposed to be like to get good or to be the best, you have to train with the best. And Anthony, how do you feel?
That's how people interpret it.
I'm saying,
yeah,
that's how people interpret it. That's how people take it.
Yeah.
So Anthony, what do you think about that old saying?
I think from like all the stuff we've been talking about before, I mean, it's true to a certain extent, but I also think people take it too literally.
Yeah.
And it does more damage than good in the end is what I think. So, I mean, I did a little bit of research before this episode, so I just don't pull shit out of my ass, but the phrase comes from the Bible, specifically Proverbs 27:17, line 17.
Oof. Man, I should get that on a shirt.
I took notes. So the quote is, as iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. So I think the intent was to become a common saying for like mutual encouragement.
Like a judo mutual benefit? Maximum efficiency?
Yeah. So I think that's what people are thinking of. And but I think the Bible took it from like the Hebrew proverb. Like,
Are you sure they didn't take it from Kano?
So I think the full quote that I found, for those who don't understand, like religious texts were written in Hebrew or Latin or whatever, and before they had the printing press, things had to be written by hand.
Yes.
Right? Copied by hand, and that's what monks did.
That's their
for a long
job.
time. Yeah, that's their job, to written by hand. And then sometimes they translate it from Hebrew to English to Persian to whatever language that it's being spread to. So mistranslations happen, as we can tell from a lot of judo mistranslations that we see.
That's just modern day, all right?
Yeah.
Well, you heard the joke of so the way people would pay for Bibles sometimes. And I don't know if this is true or not, but I remember when I was in church, a priest said this one time, telling a joke. It was like one way that people would get Bibles, that they would hire a monk to write a Bible for them.
Yeah.
And one common way to pay them was to give them wine. So if you gave if you gave them a really good bottle of wine, they would write it drunk. So it's like this scribbled of like, but this is good enough.
It's like plastic sharpens plastic.
Plastic paper cuts paper, scissors cuts metal, and
that's what we should do when we play rock paper scissors. It's like scissors sharpen scissors.
But like supposedly that's how monks would get paid a lot of times, buy wine and stuff. So they would get like a very drunk text back to them.
But the verse, basically the full verse, is not just iron sharpens iron. It's iron sharpens iron, and the man sharpens the face of his friend. So some scholars say that the keyword carry of face or appearance it's not. It could mean like character and not physically like grappling.
Anthony, I don't sharpen your face. Get some forearms in there. Get you some good cheekbones. You know. Yeah,
but it can also be like, you ever heard like, oh, you bring out the best of me, like when you talk about like a close friend or something like that. So I think that's kind of the case. And I also think iron sharpens iron, but in a literal sense.
Yeah.
But usually when you sharpen something, you use something that's harder than the original material
thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And also, if you use something that's too hard, it'll chip it, right?
Oh my God! Now you're getting so literal about it.
But we're going to the literal sense, right?
Yeah.
And the reason why I wanted to say the literal sense is because when you talk about sports science, it's the same thing. Like, and they've Travis Stevens and a few other high level coaches have talked about this. Like, even Nicholas Gill, they're like, you can't just have a room full of A players. We talked about this before.
Yeah. Yeah.
You need like the B players, the C players. You need the A players to bring up the B players, the B players to bring up the C players, and then you need like the B players for the A players to test out new stuff
Their
on
techniques and their stuff.
their techniques and stuff. And this is why a room with a wide range of skill and ages and size and everything is like important. So, I think that's what people miss. And when most people talk about iron sharpens iron, they just think of like a room of people just like trying to kill each other.
A bunch of killers just in a room together. They're gonna be great killers at the end because a room full of killers.
And what ends up happening is a lot of injuries occur.
Yeah.
So I talked about how like a lot of time you just chip it. You chip the thing if you're not careful with it. So
I've always taken it, and this is just my thing. Like when I was a kid, I used to hear this in middle school. My middle school wrestling coach say that it would be like to be the best, you have to train with the best. You know, you get that because you take it literally. You know, then as you get older, I think it was like maybe high school, and maybe later in high school, I figured this out, maybe in college, and it was like it doesn't iron sharpens iron mean that you have to train with the best to be the best. Because then all the guys that qualify for, because that's what used to be when we would all qualify for CCS. That'd be county championships, and you're going to go to state. So you qualify for that, and we all train together for about a week or two weeks or so, or maybe in a month. We train together before we go to state, and then you have the best of the best there, and you're thinking about that. It's me, the best. And then later I figured out, to me, and it's kind of like what you're talking right there, it doesn't mean that the best has to train with the best. It means that dedicated partners have to train with each other. That this is just, like I said, this is how I interpret it. It's not about the best of the best. It means like, if you're dedicated, I'm dedicated, we're going to make each other better by being dedicated and training hard.
I mean, that is very true. Though my interpretation of what you're saying is very close, but I think there's a bit of nuance in my part. Is like not just like dedicated, because you can be dedicated towards like different shit, right? Like
well, we're talking about judo and martial arts right now.
Yeah, but no. I'm talking about judo. Like you can be dedicated towards kata.
Yeah,
I could be dedicated towards becoming like an Olympic champion. This other guy can be dedicated to become like best recreational guy. Like the goals are different. Yeah.
But if you all come together and practice consistently together,
I think
you will help each other grow.
I think there's an overlap, right? But in the end, this is what you see in all the high level rooms, right? How do I word this without getting in trouble? Let's just say like most of those high level teams or clubs, everyone there has the same goal. Like they're all trying to like be highly competitive, right? And they kind of like either exclude people that are not part of it. Like they were like, this is invite only. Like Japan does that, right? Like a lot of places I wanted to go to, I was not allowed in. Or you have to get an invitation in, or they kind of like filter you out by survivorship bias, right? Like training is just that brutal, and if you they just wait till you leave, right?
Only the strong survive. Yeah.
So. But in the end, the people that are left over are the people with the same goal. So I think that kind of that does bring each other up. And you see this a lot in teenagers when there's the camaraderie. And some of the people we know that are friends that signed up together, they're like each elevating each other. So we kind of do see this iron sharpens iron thing in a sense. But they didn't start off like that. Like if I have to talk about the people I'm referring to, they didn't start off like that. They had to like start off like slow and all that kind of stuff. And then once they got to a certain level and they understand what their goals are and they align, then they kind of naturally just kind of like go hard against each other and raise each other up, right? But they had to get there in the first place. But
they're forged in fire.
Yeah, versus like you have a yellow belt that shows up. He's like out of shape, and it's like iron sharpens iron. Go fight this like Olympic national champion. Like,
go get sharpened, brother. Oh shit, he broke. Oh, he got chipped again. Oh no.
Yeah, and even like I have some nice Japanese knives, right? So
I know you you talk about them all the time. Okay.
So when I sharpen them, the way that you sharpen knives, for those who don't know, you need multiple grits, right? And the more grits you have, the better it is, but it's more annoying and more costly, obviously. So most people, for the most part, would have like one fine
wet
grit,
sand.
one fine grit, and one coarse grit. So you start off with the coarse, and then you work your way into the fine grit. You can't just like use one hardness the whole time, right? And sometimes, for example, other than the grinding stone, this is going to be a knife sharpening episode. Maybe I'll talk about
We're getting into that, isn't it? Because when I get my swords, you know what
we did the laundry, so I can do one on knife sharpening. I actually, let me finish this thought, then we'll talk about it. But there's also the honing steel that a lot of people mistake for a sharpening steel. You know, the long stick that comes with those knife block sets. They're not for sharpening; they're for straightening an edge. So those come in multiple types of material. There's stainless steel, there's diamond, there's ceramic. So I have a ceramic one because you don't want a diamond one because it can actually chip your blade because it's too hard. The story I was going to tell was my last trip in Japan. I went to buy a Japanese knife, and there was a lady working in the store, and people were asking them what is the difference between all the different materials, from the sharpening steel to the blades. And the lady was like a translator, and she was like, "Oh, I'm not sure. I think this is better because it's like done this way." Like they're talking about stainless steel versus carbon steel versus hybrid, like stainless steel wrapped around carbon steel. And I was listening, and I just like jumped in. I'm like, "Oh, I had all these blades. This is the differences between them." And I just talked for like half an hour. And then Jessica, my wife, was like, "Why did it take you so long to pick a knife? I thought you already knew what you want." And I'm like, "Oh, I was helping these guys out."
Do I have to get you? I will spontaneously start talking about knife shirt next.
Yeah. No, I'm really into knives. Like I used to have a bunch of butterfly knives that I like to collect. So, but again, that's a hobby I didn't want to get into because it can get pretty expensive.
Yeah, I know. I was collecting swords for a while, and it got really expensive. Especially because there's so many damn cheap swords now. People try to sell you and just knockoffs, and just that's disgusting. But going back to
iron sharpens iron
iron sharpens iron, steel sharpens steel. Okay, get back to that. Okay.
So personally, I like the metaphor of like forging a sword, like a katana. I think that like how you're hammering the impurities and you're constantly folding the sword, and then at the very end, then you sharpen it.
Yeah,
that comes at the end.
Has great to do with judo because you're definitely throwing people, taking out their impurities and folding them. We do that all the time in judo, actually.
No, I like that metaphor a lot more than just iron sharpens iron, because iron sharpens iron is so up to interpretation, as we already said.
And like I said, like I grew up with that one. I heard that in middle school wrestling, high school, college. I think even the first MMA gym, like the jiu-jitsu coach would say that, and I'll be like, I don't like. Do you know what you're saying? Do you understand what you're? Because I've been hearing that for years. I'm just you're grappling since I was a kid, and I said, like to me, I started interpreting it as that dedicated people that want to learn and get better, sharpening, make each other better. You know, because if you're in a room with people like when you're a kid and you're in a room with kids. When you're a little kid and stuff, okay? And this goes back to like middle school wrestling with guys that are just there because their parents are forcing them or they don't want to be there. They don't want to practice hard. That's don't want to do it.
Sharpens plastic.
They're not going to help you get better. Like they might because they're just cannon fodder for you. They're just throwing dummies. But yeah, they're just throwing dummies. They're not actually going to help you get better matches and better fights and having to work from bad positions and stuff. So it's a whole thing like you got to go to a place or train at a place that's going to help you develop and get better, you know? You got to train with good people that want to get better, not just people that are just there for the fun or to hang out. And there's nothing wrong with that. You want to do that, that's perfectly fine, you know? It's just if you want to progress and get better, you got to work with other people that want to progress and get better. And even testing yourself of going with harder partners, people that are going to challenge you, make you get better. And that's sharpening you. That's iron sharpening iron right there. This guy's hardness is going to make me better as a judo player or wrestler. And like I said, I've heard that my entire life from grappling. I actually never heard that in kickboxing, karate, taekwondo, tonga. I never heard it in any of my striking arts. I only heard it in grappling. That's it.
Yeah, that's very true. Well, yeah. I've heard of it in some Muay Thai circles.
Have you?
I've heard.
Was it after Joe Rogan made it popular again to say it?
I have no idea. I don't listen to Joe Rogan. So.
Well, the funny thing is like, and this is where just me being an old dog like I am, the person that I heard it make it popular first in MMA was Randy Couture. He said it after an interview one time, and then Joe started saying it again. And if I'm wrong, people let me know. I don't care. It's okay. All right. Correct me. But I remember seeing Randy saying it. I think he said it after a fight one time. And then he started saying it when he was interviewing people. Then Joe started saying it all the time. And that's why you get people that, when it gets back to MMA again, going off grappling, they think they have to go to certain schools, you know? Well, I have to go to American Top Team. I have to go to AKA. Yeah. I have to go to Syndicate MMA. I have to go to just these things. And it just goes back to SN and back to judo. Well, you know, if I want to get better, I have to go to this judo school or that judo school because they're somewhat famous or they're well known.
Yeah, but the culture might not fit, or the coaching style might not fit you. So.
Yeah,
or the bodies in that room. Like I went to, like I said, I briefly was trying out schools, and when I moved, and I went to a really good place. But it's just, first of all, the instructor was a dick, and second of all, there just weren't people my size, right? So how would I get better in that room? They were all really good, but like they're not my size. Then what's going to happen, right?
Well, we've had the same thing at our dojo. We had some people that were trained with us for a while, then decided to go to another dojo, and I saw them, and I was like, "Hey, good times. Haven't seen you guys. How you guys been? Blah blah blah. Yakety schmackety." And they said, "Oh yeah, I'm sorry we left, you know, but you guys are just too big at our dojo. You're just too big for." I was like, "Really? We have a wider range of people at our dojo, and I don't believe when they said that we're too big."
Those people just choose to go to big people. I don't know why. Like they ignore the small people for whatever reason, but maybe because they can't see them.
Hey, I can't see you from up here, bro. Where you at?
Yeah. So I want to go back to what I said about the blade forging. Mm-hmm. Like, I like that metaphor, not because I see myself as a blade, but I see myself as like a bladesmith.
Ooh.
Yeah, because in order to get good at sharpening the sword or forging, forging the sword, you have to do it repeatedly. Like your first few swords are going to suck, right? And
what are you talking about? My sword's amazing.
But you just practice folding the sword and sharpening, folding the sword, and you do that you forge many swords, and that's how I kind of see it, imagine in my head.
Is that how you see building a technique is?
Yeah, well, you know, I don't believe in that, but let's just say for this instance, like let's just say yes, right? So I kind of see my skills as like forging multiple blades over, repeating the process over and over again, instead of seeing myself as a sword, which most people do, and like sharpening the sword. And the problem with sharpening the sword is, you ever taking your knives to like those like mall, like Williams Sonoma to get the sword sharpened, or like at a random place?
No, I usually just sharpen it myself.
And they have this. Yeah, I sharpen it myself.
I know the grinder you're talking about. I know that.
Yeah, so machine, yes. Those things will get it really sharp, but it chips away way more material than it should, and it would actually reduce the lifespan of the knife. So I mean, if you're a professional chef, it's a big deal because you sharpen all the time, but if you're a home chef at home, then it doesn't really matter, right? It's like the lifespan went from like 5 years to like 3 years or something. You could just buy another knife. So but I think of it the same way as like, yeah, I could get good really fast, but do I have to like cut off an arm while I'm at it, you know? So,
well, you already gave up a knee already. Did I forge you, Anthony? Did I forge you into a better player?
I think everyone I encountered forged me, definitely. But I feel like a lot of the shoulder pain I feel like I talk about all the time is from the tons and tons of ujigomis I did outside of class. On vacation, like I used to travel with like the rubber bands with me in the hotel room, like during COVID, especially when there was nothing to do. Like, I was looking back at my COVID post, and I like tied a band to like my foam roller and put it behind a wall, close
I remember that.
Behind it. Yeah. So I just think like going back, I would have done things differently. Definitely. Maybe I could have squeezed out another year or two of not feeling the decline. And then the other thing I want to talk about is then when you say that phrase, iron sharpens iron, it's like kind of assuming like, hey, it's not assuming, but it kind of insinuates that some people are iron, some people aren't. Like, you're just born that way. So when two pieces of naturally born iron meet and they train with each other, then they produce like effect, right? Like high level players, but then that kind of like discounts a lot of people that are not naturally talented, and they're just like, well, I guess I don't belong in this place. I don't belong to train with these better people. I'm not there. I should just go to like a recreational club. Like, and we all know like that's not good, especially for kids, because this mentality is being spread to kids now, especially with the social media. How a lot of especially BJJ competitors, they have like their own Instagram accounts and stuff, and they post all this stuff in spreads. And this is an episode I want to do in the future. I've been trying to get the guest on, but he's been too busy, so I might just do it. But there's a youth sports crisis, and a lot of kids quit sports early because they feel like they're not naturally gifted enough to do it, when in reality a lot of kids don't develop until they're early to mid-teens. So all this focus on early specialization, early youth development, and early talent identification is like killing youth sports, basically, especially in America. And this iron sharpens iron thing kind of builds into that. I think it's like, this kid's not iron, this kid is like weed,
Yeah, this guy's clay. But I think it also goes into, I think, too much bro. Like, I don't care if people get mad if I say this, bro culture into stuff. They hear something like a bro culture podcast, and they think
I would definitely. When you say iron sharpens iron, I definitely tie it to bro culture. Sorry.
Like I said, they took it. I used to hear it. Like I said, I heard it in wrestling when I was in middle school. Okay, and that was a long time ago. All right, but bro culture just takes stuff that they don't understand. Like, not everything, but a lot that they don't understand. Just take it and just meld it into something else that they think just, it sounds cool. Man, we got to do this. Iron sharpens iron. So that means I have to train the best and only the best. I'm training only the best gym.
I need to have 2 grams of protein per pound of
I need protein in everything, all right? I need protein in my drinks, protein food, protein gum.
Muscle confusion. There's so much but
like I said, I heard this when I was a kid. And what I just got, like I said, when you're a kid, you just hear and you just think, the best has to go with the best. Like, if you want to get better, you have to train better people, So, but like I said, later in life, I interpret it as like, no, you have to train dedicated people that want to get good, people that want to get better, and we all race together. We all sharpen each other to make each other's better weapons, That's how I took it. That's how I grew up into it. And then nowadays, it's just something that's been stolen, I think, by, again, bro culture, and just warped into something else. And I hate to see that a kid feels like, well, I suck, I'm not iron, so that means I like, no, dude, you're gonna like Anthony said, you're gonna get forged. You're gonna forge into a blade if you want to. If you're dedicated and want to, you can. All right, that's my take.
But they could have to want it in the first place, right?
Yeah. Well, we're just talking about funny sayings with stuff. Just, I use this sometimes. Sometimes you're the hammer, sometimes you're the nail. Well, when am I the nail and when am I the hammer? I don't know. Okay, until I fight, and then I see what happens.
And the people I hear it from are also the same type of people that are kind of like, they don't want to do the sharpening part.
Hard work.
Put
in the time and effort that it takes.
They're the ones that show up like once a week, or are like, I just need to buy this instructional or something, and then don't do the sharpening. So what metaphor would you use that from? I wouldn't call it iron sharpens iron at that point. I just call it
book smarts.
No, let's go back to the knife metaphor. But so there's, if you buy kitchen knives, there's 2 types of knives. There's forged knives, and then there's stamped knives.
Yes.
Right.
Oh, so they're a stamped knife.
They're a stamped knife.
That is great. Hey, Anthony, that guy stamped. Totally stamped, bro. Totally
Speaking of which, there's nothing wrong with. There's nothing wrong with a stamped knife, because they're actually cheaper to make.
Guys. There's nothing wrong being stamped, okay?
I'm talking about for cooking. There's cooking knives. There's nothing wrong with stamped knives, but you can tell when a knife is stamped just based off of how thick they are, and the thickness. But one of the best knives that I recommend, the Victorinox knives for a starter kitchen, is actually a stamped knife. But for those who don't know, stamped knives are basically, they take a sheet of metal, a machine cuts the knife out of a shape out of the stamp, and they sharpen it and put a handle on it, and that's your knife. Versus a forged knife, they actually hammer it and fold the metal into a knife. So we should trademark that analogy.
Should we? Get on it, Anthony. But get on before we post this episode. All right.
Yeah, so-and-so is a stamped knife.
So it's a stamped knife. I'm like, I'll make a shirt of it. Stamped knife. Then people are like, yeah, stamped knife life, bro. All right.
Well, can we make some merch? Like some t-shirts?
I've been wanting to. For years, but you don't want to. All right. So this is just our thoughts on just saying how people use it, how it's interpreted, where it came from. And like, I hope this doesn't discourage anybody from doing judo or doing grappling or martial arts at all. If you hear that and you think, well, I'm not Steel. I'm not going to help anybody. I suck, you know?
In the end, all sorts of development, whether it's muscle growth or learning or skill development or whatever, things only grow when they are provided stress and stimulus, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the end of it. So let's just leave it like that. And
Just leave it like that, okay?
yeah.
That's going to get into our next episode, growing plants.
Growing
Okay?
plants.
Growing plants in judo terms.
I gotta plug in I'll probably put it in the description if I remember, but I wrote a newsletter article about challenge point hypothesis. That's what people know it now as, because that's what eco refers it to, even though I came from a language learning side, so it's called desirable difficulty. So I'll link that kind of will explain my views on it a lot more. So
All right.
yeah.
So with that, short episode, guys, sorry.
Yeah. We've been talking about doing shorter episodes, so
We've been trying, but that last one we went long, and I was surprised how long we went. So, hey guys, should be happy. Quick episode, in and out, guys. All right, in and out.
Gives me more. Hey, it gives me more time to write that newsletter that people have been asking me about.
So please remember to like, share, and subscribe. You can follow me, the Jared_Juan on Instagram. You can follow Anthony Throws on Instagram. You can follow Tatami Talk itself on Instagram at Tatami Talk. You want us to go over things, look at videos, want us to talk about stuff, show us something cool, go ahead. You can hit us up at tatamitalk@gmail.com, as well as the website at tatamitalk.com. Anthony, is there anything else I'm forgetting?
No.
Nope. All right. So, till then, say hi to us, use that tournament, okay?
Yeah.
And don't forget to
Sharpen your knives, and don't buy a stamp knife, buy a forged knife. Yeah. Nothing wrong with stamp knife.